Ah, bollocks.
Right guys, welcome to a Friday Waffle. Now, firstly, this waffle is actually getting recorded yesterday. Yep, I'm recording this on Thursday because I won't be here tonight, which is tomorrow night. Yeah, because I'm going to be in Glasgow and I'm going to be with this guy. Yep, as you're watching this, I will hopefully be getting drunk with Mr. Kevin down the rabbit hole. Now, I was actually going to when I was doing the questions thing at the end, as anybody that watches the Friday Waffle on a regular basis will know that Kevin he's always very consistent when it comes to putting questions out of the Friday Waffle, and I was going to make a point in saying, there's no question from Kevin. And then it's going to cut to Kevin popping his head in, you know, into the video. But I thought, nah, I better get this thing done tonight so that you can watch it tonight, which is Friday, even though I'm recording it on Thursday, if that makes any sense. Doesn't matter, if you're watching this 2 years from now, this will not make a toss of difference. So anyway, I hope you've all had an alright week. I've been busy at work. My buddy, we have like a buddy system. If I'm off, my buddy covers my sites and vice versa. So my buddy has been off work for a couple of weeks, she's on holiday, so I've been covering her sites. So I've just been at a run, I've got bloody dirt all over my legs. I've been covering her sites and I've still been working on this project thing. The project thing that I'm working on has got to be done and dusted by tomorrow, so, or today, if you're watching this on Friday, which you will be, because I'm not going to upload it until, I'm not going to make it live until today, which is going to be Friday. So yeah, I had to have that project finished. I really shouldn't make Friday Waffles on a Thursday because it's a whole can of misery and confusion and what have you. So what have I been doing this week? Have I been playing any games? No, you know what, I've been watching, like a lot of people, I've been watching the football, especially Wales. I've got to say, you know, epic. It's really nice to see a team who were the underdogs and basically collectively playing together as a team, and they done tremendously well. I mean, yeah, it was a shame they didn't manage to get beyond Portugal, but you know, to get to the semi-finals, it's phenomenal. I mean, nobody gave Wales a hope in hell when the sort of competition kicked off, and I think teams like Scotland, England, all these other teams can take a leaf out of Wales' book and see what is it they do right and other countries don't do well. So disappointed with that. But last night I was also watching the tennis. I'm not a massive tennis fan, but excuse me, I quite like watching Wimbledon. But obviously, fellow Scot, Mr. Andy Murray, he was playing Tsonga, and I've got to say, Tsonga absolutely stormed back. Murray was 2-0 up, and Tsonga was playing some of the best tennis I've ever seen. But fair dues to Andy Murray, he managed to up his game in the final set and win the match. So I'm looking forward to seeing Murray play in is it the quarters or the semis? Yeah, it's the quarterfinals, I think it is. I was getting confused actually how many games I've got to play. So anyway, yeah, I've been watching a lot of sport. Looking forward to the Olympics, which starts in August, I think it is, although there's a lot of speculation, you know, that it might not even go ahead because apparently they're really not ready, and I don't think Rio is really the place for the Olympics. There's just too much, there's not enough money, you know, in the place, and a lot of the buildings are behind schedule and that as well, so I don't know. I've not been playing many games at all. I don't think I've played any. Have I played any video games? Not really, no. I've been watching sport. I've been making videos. I just got this little, what's the word for it? What's it then you get the wee light bulb, eureka moment the other night there. I can't remember what it was. Yeah, I think that's what it was. When I was watching the Spectrum show, and I saw Paul Jenkinson reviewed, or he had a little clip of that 4K racing on the Spectrum, and like I said, when I saw that, I thought, bloody hell, that looks impressive. And then when I later found out that it was actually written in 4K, that just blew my mind. So I decided to come up with this little video about games that it's not it's not necessarily games that are particularly good. It's just bits of games that I've went, bloody hell, how the hell did they do that? I don't think that is possible. What was interesting, I mean, the game that, the very first game I looked at was 3D Monster Maze on the ZX81. And what was interesting, I was watching Steve Benway's 15,000 subscriber special. If you've not watched it yet, never mind this video, stop it, go and watch it, it's absolutely phenomenal. It just makes me wish that Steve would come back with the Friday Talkie. This is what it is based on. I mean, I've never made any secret that Steve Benway was really what inspired me to start sort of doing these type of videos. It's quite funny, I think we've got a lot in common, just the way we talk, and I think because we're both similar ages, we're both quite cantankerous, and we just say exactly how it is. But yeah, I've watched probably half of it. I was watching it at lunchtime, and it's typical Benway excellence. If you like Steve Benway, you'll love this last video that he's put up. Apparently he did put it up yesterday, but because of the YouTube copyright thing with music, it basically fucked the video up and you had to redo it, you had to re-upload it. So go and watch it. But yeah, I've been watching a bit of watching YouTube. I've not played any games at all. No, I don't think I've been a single game that I've played. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Enough about what I have and haven't been doing. Have I got any topics? Aye, you know what, I can't even remember if I mentioned this. I think I might have actually mentioned it. In fact, I did mention it. I've got the iPad, the new iPad thing that I bought, and I was going to put on, by the way, one thing I think is quite funny. As you get older, you tend to repeat yourself, and I do that all the time. I used to give my mum and dad a row for repeating themselves, and I'm the same. I tend to go over old ground. So anyway, what was I talking about? Yeah, I decided to get Grid Runner on the iPad, cracking game by Lamasoft, and I couldn't find it. So I had a search for the other games, couldn't find them, and it turns out that Lamasoft did not renew their license. Now I was a bit, that's bullshit, absolute bullshit. People have paid for something and we can't play it. But one of my subscribers, I can't remember who it was exactly, pointed me in the direction of Lamasoft, or Jeff Minter's website. He has got a blog. He doesn't update it very often, but he did put a post in it a couple of weeks ago, and it's basically all about iOS. And what was quite sad, I suppose, was he said that he loved working on that platform, but he said that the money that they made was absolutely minute, to the point that he said it simply would not, it's not worth his while. He's already sold as many, copies of that game that he's ever going to sell, and for him to put up, for him to keep his license to sell the games, I don't know what it is, 150, 200 quid. He said he would physically be 200 quid out of pocket. He's not getting any income from these games anymore. So, I do understand that. Why is he going to want to fork out 200 quid, which is just like, just throwing money down the toilet? But where I do get annoyed, I think that Apple should somehow have a responsibility to the people that have paid the money, because at the end of the day, when I buy something on the App Store, as far as I'm concerned, it's Apple that are getting the money. Who they give the money to after that, I really couldn't give a shit. I give Apple money for games. Now, because this developer has decided they don't want to pay money to keep old games which they don't make any more money on, they don't want to pay this money to keep them on the App Store, I can no longer get access to them. Now, surely to goodness Apple could come up with some way that these games, although they're not available to buy, because at the end of the day, if the developer doesn't want to pay for the market stall type thing, then why should they be able to sell them? But surely Apple should come up with some way of having games or apps, whatever, available on the App Store, so if I want to go and buy, if I want to re-download something I've already paid for, then I can do that. Because right now, if the developer decides to not renew the license, and you get a new iPad, you get a new iPhone, you have to wipe your iPad for whatever reason, unless you've actually backed up the app on the what do you call it, on the computer, then you're screwed. You can't get it back again. So I think Apple really, I think they should, I don't think they're not going to listen to this obviously, but that's just a bit of a grump. I really think that Apple have some sort of, some kind of loyalty to the people that buy the games, buy the apps, whatever it is, you know, and allow them to get what they've paid for. Because what you're basically doing is you're buying an app, and it's only going to be, you're only going to be able to access it as long as it's available in the iOS store, and then if you happen to format your computer, boom, gone. But that is the thing with digital downloads. I mean, we've already discussed this to death. Digital downloads on the sort of PS4, Xbox One, 360, PS3, all these Wii U's, Wii, all these 3DS, all these yeah, all these consoles. If you buy anything digitally I should say, then it's going to get to a point where probably a few years in the future you may no longer be able to play them. And if you've spent, I mean, some of these games online, they're 50-60 quid, which is outrageous. You can buy them cheaper from a shop, or buying them from like Shop2 or Amazon. But you know, these games, you can buy it, and then maybe 2-3 years down the line, when the console becomes obsolete, and the console you've got breaks down, then that's it. You can't get that game back again. So that is the big bugbear of digital downloads. But most people don't really care. Most people that have a PS4, they're not really bothered whether or not they can play their games in 4 years' time, because they'll be on they'll be onto their PS5 or their Xbox 2s or whatever it is they decide to call it. So yeah, digital downloads. Right, yeah, the beard. It was getting a wee bit bushy, so I decided to trim it a wee bit, much to my wife's disdain. Hang on a second, I've got a dog coming in. Ed, move. No pumping. I decided to trim it, and should have marked it's no longer a beard, it's just stubble again. So I'm kind of back to just being a bit stubbly, but I'm going to grow it. I'm thinking C6 Steve, you know, big, ooh, Hell's Angels type thing. See how it goes. The running's going quite well. Hopefully you can see I've kind of lost the double chin a wee bit thinner looking in the face, which is always, that's the thing with me. I do put weight on quite quickly, but I also lose it very quickly. If I put weight on, it tends to go in my face. I don't really put weight on around my belly, which is quite good, I suppose, because you know, when you get to a certain age in life, it it definitely gets harder to lose weight. But I'm quite lucky, I can put it on quite quick, but I can also lose it quite quick. So seem to be running quite well, which is excellent news. Right, on to questions. Yeah, that's the only question that I've really got, or the only thing I had to talk about. Questions. Paddy O'Connor, thank you very much, sir, for the video. Cool video, loving the They Did What series, and I find it possibly worst game ever a good laugh. Think you've got a great channel going on, thank you very much. I'm surprised you haven't got more subs than you do. Well, as we all know, guys, there's a lot of channels who are putting out excellent content and don't have many subs. Then there's also some channels who, in my personal opinion, are nonsense. All they do is, you know, unboxings or whatever. There's some channels that you watch and you're like, there's no real effort goes into it, but they've got high numbers. So I really wouldn't beat yourself up over subscriber numbers. It's all about views, and at the end of the day, if you're likeable and your channel's quite good, people want to watch it, then you will get subscribers. So I'm not too bothered. Yeah, what was this? I have a question for your waffle. Give us your top 5 box art for the C64. Oh, bloody hell. Well, you know, it might not be too bad. As a kid, I was a sucker for box art when buying games. I know a few games that are complete crap, but have really cool artwork and would be interesting on your thoughts. Keep up the good work. Well, firstly, thanks for your question, Paddy. Yeah, I totally agree with you. Box art now, back in the day, I never ever bought a game based on the box art. It was always, the game had to be good. Sometimes I would buy a game because I thought the box art looked cool and I thought, oh, it's going to be good, and it turns out to be shit. But I would never have bought a shit game because it had a good box art, if that makes sense. Hopefully it does. I may as well show you rather than try and talk to you about them. Talking of shit, let me get them all down. Now I have showed you them before. In fact, you know what? I'm going to show you the whole damn lot. It's my channel, so I can do what I want to do. I should really, at this point, I should have some supermarket or lift music just to keep you entertained. I don't know why I'm taking all these down because I'm going to have to put them all back up again. Right, come here you, come here. Okay, right. Now some of these I've bought purely from the nostalgia point of view. Games that I've got fond memories of, and just to see the game again is awesome. That's one of them, Daley Thompson's Decathlon. And I'm going to keep this in there. Same again, Bounty Bob Strikes Back, another iconic game. Never ever used the tapes. Spy Hunter by US Gold. That was an official Sega one apparently. Another one, Loco by Alligator. That was a Tony Crowther game. Fantastic game. Before, in fact no, I don't think Codemasters ever did. They never actually went as far as putting their faces on covers, but the Ambiguous, that's not a word, Ambiguous? No, it doesn't matter. Kevin Toms, he always liked to put his face onto games. Quite right. Encounter, classic game by Novaload. Decathlon by Activision, that was a David Crane game. Fantastic game. Now I always liked the Imagine covers, not the original Imagine, the sort of Ocean Imagine when he did the kind of arcade conversions. Brilliant, really nice. I think that's Bob Wakelin actually does all these. He does a mighty fine job. Another Sega game, and that was Zaxxon. Right, I'll let you see that in a second. And another Bob Wakelin one, which is Imagine again, Hyper Sports. Love it. Now these are the only games I've actually got for the C64. I sold off shitloads. One of my favourite games ever, Way of the Exploding Fist by Melbourne House. Even just looking at the, I've not got the instructions sadly, just looking at the back, I mean, as a kid you know, that was the first thing you saw, and then you'd look at the back and you think, oh that looks good. Way of the Exploding Fist. Right now we're on to crap games. In fact no, let's keep this simple. You can go there, that can go there, that can go there, that can go there, that can go there. Now if I'm talking louder it's because my daughter's outside and I can hear her talking, I'm trying to talk over her. Right, these can all go there. I love the Lamasoft games, really iconic cover work. Matrix, there's tons of games I don't have. This is a great game. Attack of the Mutant Camels, really distinctive. You could always almost tell the company that made them just with that cover artwork. Hover Bother. I don't know who drew that, but it's not the greatest cover, but it's iconic. Grid Runner, again by Jeff, and Laser Zone, so yeah, there you go. Now to answer your question, Paddy, these games are absolutely god awful, really are, they're abysmal, but you know what, I love the artwork, it's just iconic. So yep, I've bought these just for the artwork, and they're by a company called Interceptor Software, who are one of the earliest companies for the C64, in the VIC-20 I think it was, but their games were bloody atrocious. There was a couple of games they made which weren't too bad, but in the main they were utter garbage. First one is Sprite Man. It's yeah, you can spot an Interceptor game a mile away. Sprite Man. Then there was Scramble 64, which was based on Scramble, oddly enough, and I think it was pretty dire. Then this one had Speech, contains speech. This was Tales of the Arabian Nights, which wasn't too bad, but it was bloody difficult. These two coming up are the first two games. These are the very first two games I ever bought for my Commodore 64, and that is Crazy Kong by Interceptor and Frogger by Interceptor. Crazy Kong, I think I did do is this one of the worst games ever? It's abysmal. It's absolutely atrocious. It's a version of Donkey Kong, and it is beyond pish. It's so bad. This game, Frogger 64, obviously based on Frogger, is actually quite good. It's very playable. So yeah, that's the box art that I like, Kev. But I've never really been one to buy games based on their box art. But I like these ones just because they're quite eye catching. And again, it comes down to sort of nostalgia thing for me. Right, second question. Thanks for your question, Paddy. Really appreciate it. If you've got another one for next week, even better. Retro Hawk, thank you, sir. Thanks for discussing the topic. It was indeed the Bluetooth. Blah blah blah. Question for this week's show, buddy. If you bought a retro item you were wanting and it turned out to be brand new and unused, would you preserve it in its state or use it? For example, you got a hold of a brand new Vectrex. The reason I'm asking is I was always after a BBC Micro. I got one this week and it turned out to be brand new. Bloody hell, seriously? Brand new then? Yeah, don't use it. I'm now in two minds to keep this one and buy another one to use. I have never been somebody to buy, I've never bought anything just to kind of have. I've always bought it with the intention of using it. Now, that's true. However, I don't know, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, my mate, in fact probably more than that actually, my mate was selling a Super Nintendo, and he was wanting 40 quid for it. In fact, it was probably 6-7 years ago, and I bought it. I paid him the money, but he lived, or he still lives down in Newcastle. So I said to him, look, I says, chances are I'll be coming down via Newcastle with my work, so just hang on to it and I'll pick it up. Cut a long story short, it was about 2 years later I eventually picked it up. And what I didn't know was it was what I could only describe as mint condition. The box was in almost brand new condition. The unit, although I'll tell you a story in a second, the unit to me looked brand new, no yellowing to speak of. So anyway, I got it home and I just thought to myself, wait a minute, do I really want to use this? This is probably worth a bit of money. So I did exactly what you're thinking about doing, and I put it up in the loft and I bought another, I paid 40 quid for that one. I put it in the loft and I bought another SNES for 20 quid, which is the one I use just now. It's battered and bashed, and the controllers, the dog chewed the controller, but you know what, they work fine. It's what I used to actually play the games. So I did keep that SNES in the loft purely from intention of I didn't want to use it, and I think I eventually sold it for 60 quid or something. I didn't make as much on it that I thought I was going to make, but it's like all these things, it's like peaks and troughs with retro hardware. But yeah, the second part of that story was I sold it on eBay. Now I described it as mint condition, blah blah blah, and then a couple of weeks later I get a dispute from the buyer saying that it wasn't mint condition, it had yellowed. Now I don't know, his idea of yellowing is probably different from my idea of yellowing. I honestly thought it looked brand new. So to avoid any dispute or getting bad feedback, I ended up giving him 10 quid back on it, which he was happy about. I wasn't too happy, but anyway, it's just one of these things. That's the problem with selling on eBay. But yeah, ordinarily I would never go out my way, if I'm looking for a machine, as long as it's working. Yeah, if it's in good condition, happy days. If it's mint condition, even better. But I would never, I'm quite happy just to buy a working machine. I couldn't give two smegs about boxes or instructions, anything like that. I mean, sometimes I prefer things not to be boxed, because you put it in the loft and you think, oh, I need to hang on to the box, and you go up to your loft and you see this box and you think, why have I got the box? You know, I'm never going to sell it. In fact, I had a purge maybe 6 months ago of boxes. In fact, a lot of these LCD games that I had a collection of about 50 of them, which I sold a couple of years ago to fund my MAME cab. I found a lot of the boxes, and I actually, believe it or not, I actually put them, there's a retro for sale Facebook page, I actually posted them. I says, look, does anybody want these boxes? You know, you pay the postage, you can have them for nothing, and nobody wanted them. And actually today I found some that I'd put underneath my printer, and I flung out. I thought, what's the point of keeping them? But yeah, I'm really not interested in box games, boxed computers. If it's got a box with it, fine. If not, I don't give a shit. But yeah, again, I don't really care as long as it's working. But if I did buy a machine and it turned out to be like brand new, I mean, if you're saying there that BBC's brand new, then I would be tempted to not use it. I would wrap it up well, wrap it up in polythene, whatever, so the air kind of keeps away from it. Stick it in your loft, and get yourself another one. You can get a BBC for about probably 30-40 quid. Get yourself one of these little SD card things, and Bob's your uncle. So that's it. That is my questions for this week. Thanks very much, guys. Paddy and Retrohawk, I appreciate that. Anything else? No, as I mentioned, I did a shout out last week down the rabbit hole. Kevin, I've been watching Kevin's channel for about a year now. Kevin hails from Canada, and he is across in the UK at the moment visiting in-laws, and he's actually coming up to Scotland today, which is tomorrow because I'm recording this on Thursday. But anyway, so I'm actually meeting Kevin and his wife, I think, tomorrow night, which will be tonight when you're watching this. So hopefully we'll be able to make a little collaboration video for 5-10 minutes, probably in a pub, and we may well be drunk, so don't hold your breath. But that is it. The only other thing I want to do is shout outs. I did do a shout out for Kevin. Hopefully some of you have gone along and looked at his channel. If not, look at last week's Friday Waffle and go and have a look at it. This week the channel, I've had a few recommendations. Now obviously I can't recommend a channel without seeing it myself, because that would just be stupid. So I need to kind of spend a bit of time watching videos from a channel before I'll give it a shout out, because you know, that's just, you can't recommend something that you've never actually seen yourself. The shout out this week is it's a couple of English guys called Beardy Gaming. Now they're they basically do sort of live streams. They play games. Well, there's two of them. I can't even remember the name of them. They've got their kind of stage names. One of the guys plays the game, and the other guy basically takes the piss out of him. But the chemistry between them is really funny. I could actually imagine the pair of these guys on some kind of sitcom or some comedy show. They're really, really funny. They both come across as really likeable. Now I've actually approached them last week about doing a collaboration. I think it would be quite good fun. You know, the two beards. They refer to their subscribers as beardlings. One of them is Ginger, although he likes to describe himself as having African sunset coloured hair, which I think is excellent. But yeah, I have asked them if they'd like to do a collaboration video. Two beardies and a Scotch bloke, old Scotch bloke. Actually, my mate calls me Fat Gandalf. Not so much now because the beard's a bit shorter, but he says when it's getting longer, I look like Gandalf, albeit fat. So yeah, two beardy gamers and a Scotch bloke. But yeah, go and check out their channel. I'll put the link below. It's mostly kind of playthroughs, but it's just the chemistry between the two of them. I mean, they put out a video last week. They've got a live stream, and they're wanting people to ask questions, and some of the questions are being asked, let's just say they weren't gaming related, and they certainly weren't safe for work. But they're really good fun to watch. Their videos are very, very highly, high standard values, high production values, unlike my sort of double-sided sticky tape and toilet rolls. Although I've got to say, I think I'm getting better. I've now started messing with overlaying videos on top of videos. So there's all these features of this software that I use I never even knew existed. So the only problem is when you start adding features, videos take longer and longer to actually make. I mean, that video that I put out the other day, how the hell did he do that? That took me forever because I'd uploaded it and then I noticed, oh, wait a minute, I've got silence during the wee gameplay bit, so I did it again. I was talking over it, but I'm going off on a tangent. Yeah, Beardy Gaming, really good. They do playthrough videos. They don't really look at any retro stuff as such. They don't do pickups of that, but it's mostly playthroughs. But it's the chemistry. The game side of things is irrelevant as far as I'm concerned. It's the chemistry between the two of them. There's a big guy and there's a wee guy, and the wee guy is quite cheeky. He takes the piss out of the big guy, but really, really good fun. It's all done in sort of good taste. Go and check their guy's channels out. I think they're just about 400 subscribers, so they definitely deserve just what was it? Yeah, it was Paddy. Paddy was mentioning about saying that he thinks my channel should have more subscribers, but it's like a lot of channels, guys. You know, we all work hard, and we probably don't have the number of subscribers that we'd like. And these two guys, I mean, they've only been going a short time, to be fair. They've got up to 400 subscribers pretty quick. I mean, it took me probably double the time to get 400. But if you like a bit of sense of humour in your gameplays, they play mostly kind of modern games. I think they play a lot of Steam games and that kind of stuff. But go and check them out. Beardy Gaming, and you never know, you might see a collaboration. I'm going to try and get them onto the channel and do a bit of a podcast type thing. So that is it, guys. I think yeah, I'm going to go and watch the second half of France versus Germany, which obviously you'll know the score to because it's tomorrow, and I'm actually watching it yesterday, which is Thursday. So that's it, guys. Thank you very much for watching. As usual, thank you for the awesome support. I really mean that sincerely. The support I get, all the comments, is just brilliant. It's what makes doing this worthwhile. If it wasn't for that, it wouldn't be anywhere near as fun. To all the new subscribers, thanks for subscribing. I hope you see enough to make you want to remain here. As usual, to all the old guard that have been supporting me for the last 2-3 years, thank you very, very much. That's it, guys. Lastly, thank you very much for watching.